Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. All right, fifth take I think, or maybe sixth. Anyways, we're getting great feedback from the community. It's been amazing. I'm getting tons of subscribers and just more than I ever imagined. I know probably 200 subscribers isn't very much, but we're slowly getting there and we're gonna be there maybe even by the time I publish this video, which should only be a few days. It's been a fantastic, our numbers are up, and I want to keep making videos because I'm enjoying this. Me and my partner, my wife, are doing all of these for you, and we're just doing it because it's a lot of fun. It's become a hobby of ours. We're having fun creating the graphics and all sorts of things. So we're spending more time as promised on all of these videos, and we want to get more out to you. If you could, though, please help us out. Like and subscribe the video. It's very important that more people see us so that we can keep doing this. We'd like to monetize it. I've got a new topic with you guys that I'm very passionate about. What is the most important thing to consider when buying electronics and audio gear? And I have to say that I've given this a lot of thought, and I think that my top item is often the most overlooked item on all of YouTube, and that is your safety. The most important thing that you need to consider when buying electronics is your and your family's safety. And I am, without a doubt, know that this is the most important thing for it. So how do you do it? Do you need to have a degree in electrical engineering? No, you do not. What you need to do is you need to understand the labeling that occurs when putting on these products. So the first thing that you got to do, and I've got a couple different items I want to cover here, is make sure that all of your products are either EC improved or CE improved, or UL approved. They have these little labels. We'll include it in a graphic right here so that you can find these labels on the packaging. And what these labels mean is that they have met certain engineering standards to ensure, among other things, that you are safe. They also ensure better quality products and just overall make sure everybody who uses the product is safe. And they don't just look at when the product is functioning properly, but how the product fails. If something goes wrong that they are not expecting to happen and a short occurs, a short is when two wires cross, or the positive and the ground, or the positive of the negative touch. They cause the electricity to flow through the wire, and that can cause heat to build up. The heat can get very intense and literally burst things into flames, or even cause an explosion, sparks, and other things. There is a lot of power you have to keep in mind when you plug something in the wall. There is a giant nuclear power reactor or another generator on the other end, and that is a giant machine with a lot of power, and it's pushing all that power into your house. So this stuff is not to be trifled with. One of the requirements that they use when they are failing, when devices are failing, is that all of these devices, which all meet those standards, they have a requirement of self-extinguishing. And a self-extinguishing means that the fire will go out, that the device is not made out of flammable materials, and it's made in a way that will cut the circuit or cut the short off. And they may even have fuses in it and other things to prevent problems from occurring if there is a short in your device. Other things that can happen is if there's a device short on the side of the case and the case is not properly grounded, you could get electrocuted by touching the case. UL approved products and the CE approved products ensure that this does not happen. They're manufactured in a way that if that happens, they blow a fuse and they cut off the power. So these standards are not to be messed with. The second topic that I wanted to talk to you all about was the standards on these things. Wires, all right? It's not just simply important enough to get a UL approved product in all cases, though they do make UL approved extension cords. I just had a video a couple days ago that I did. It was about audio quality cables and whether or not cables make a difference in sound quality. I encourage you to check it out. But one of the things I did not mention enough in that video and I wanted to cover in this video was safety. Make sure your power cables are UL approved. When you're buying those ultra high-end cables, if you are all about buying those, many of them do not have UL approved standards, and many of them do not meet the other standards required for that. So make sure your power cables are UL approved. The second thing is speaker wire. Speaker wire is a wire that you run from your amplifier, one of these, to your speakers. And when you're hanging it, when you're running it outside, or when you're putting it through your wall, you need special kinds of wire. Okay, you do not want to use just generic lamp cord. They need to be certified for each situation. And the rules can change depending on where you're located and what products you are buying. But if you talk to the suppliers, if you talk to the store, Monoprice has a great help channel. You can always talk to them about what products you need, and they can help direct you into keeping your family safe and making sure a fire doesn't start. And it's important to realize that in those situations, when you are hanging a wire, putting a wire in the wall, or putting a wire outside, or if you're stomping on it and other things, you need special wires with their own certifications. So talk to your contractor. The other topics that I wanted to cover with on safety is this cover here. When we're dealing with large electronics, don't take off the cover. Even on smaller electronics, make sure you unplug it. Make sure the device does not contain a battery or large capacitors. If they have large capacitors, or if you do not know what a battery or capacitor looks like, you need to keep the cover on. Large capacitors and batteries can contain enough voltage to hurt you really badly if you get electrocuted from them. So this is not a joke. Keep the cover on and don't touch the electronics. If you want to learn about electronic safety, there are repair cafes and there are schools you could go to, as well as many resources online to look this stuff up. But you've got to do your diligence and you've got to be able to make sure you're safe. And just simply doing simple research is not going to cut it here. You've got to understand the topics of electronics and safety before you handle electronics, especially live ones. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the fourth situation in which you've got to be careful, and that is when the electronics you have start to die. Specifically, the ones with lithium-ion batteries. They become dangerous when they start losing a charge. So do not put your old phone into the drawer and leave it. Do not put your battery from your bike into your drawer and leave it. They need to remain charged. And over time, they will lose their charge. And if they lose enough of a charge, they will eventually and could eventually catch on fire. This is not a joke. So definitely dispose of your lithium-ion batteries properly and do not keep old electronics alone and without throwing them out or charging them on a regular basis. And with that, I have to say that I appreciate you all watching. If you are in an area like in the European Union, you should be getting most of these products and this feedback from your suppliers, but not all suppliers have it. So again, watch for it, look for it, and just be safe. Enjoy your listening experience, and thank you for watching my video. Newsboy Audio